My name is Toby Freeland. I'm a chef instructor here at L'Ecole Culinaire in Kansas City. I've been in the industry for 25 years, 15 of those as an executive chef. I am 43 years old. I initially went to school to be a teacher. I've played sports my entire life, and I always thought, I want to be a teacher and a coach and those sort of things. By the time I finished my undergrad with a history degree, I had more schooling to go to get my secondary education certification, and I was schooled out at that point, so I decided that I was going to get a regular job, and I hated it. So at a transition point, I decided, with the help of my wife now, who was then my girlfriend, that I was going to go to culinary school. So that's kind of how it came about. I always loved cooking growing up. I was the kid that watched Martin Yan and Graham Kerr and all those shows on PBS when everybody else was watching other things. I cooked for my wife on our first date. And so I think I've always kind of had a love of cooking, and went to culinary school at Johnson County Community College here in town. It was a lot smaller than it is now, not quite as well known. I mean, now it's one of the better culinary schools in the country. Culinary school is different. I went to school 1 day a week on Monday, and then I worked 5 days a week in an apprenticeship. L'Ecole and Johnson County are different because of the way the program is structured. L'Ecole is an intensive program, so you go to school and you're done. It took me 3 years to graduate from culinary school, to where here the students will be done if they get their associate's degree in just over a year. But yeah, it's definitely come a long way. Just overall, there wasn't Food Network when I was in high school. There wasn't, the mystique, I guess, of being a chef wasn't cool. There wasn't celebrity chefs, things like that. So it's definitely come a long way. Yeah, and the culinary scene in Kansas City, we have James Beard Award winners here. We're featured on all sorts of different, shows on television, Travel Channel, Food Network, all those things like that. So Kansas City's a pretty cool place to be a culinarian. I probably had about 10 years of training overall, knowing front of the house, bar and beverage, working in the kitchen and all those things, before I actually became an executive chef, got my first executive chef job. When I was doing my undergrad, I worked at Tanner's Bar and Grill for 5 years, started as a bartender, and then initially moved up to a general manager position. Worked at Arapahoe Basin, which was like the coolest job ever. This was when I was single. And we grilled burgers out on the deck in the snow, and, went skiing afterwards and all that kind of stuff. The really cool thing about going to culinary school, for one, is you do get to learn all those different cuisines. Most people that attend culinary school will say that they're classically trained, mostly in French technique. You learn the mother sauces, you learn stock making, you learn classic cuts, all those sort of things, knife skills and things like that come from French cuisine. But you also learn how the cuisines of the world kind of learn from each other, particularly how through exploration and conquest and colonization and things like that, certain cuisines have similar flavor profiles and similar seasonings and things that they use. So it does all kind of fit together. I like American cuisine. You take ingredients from Southern California, but put an Asian twist on it, or ingredients from the Pacific Northwest and put a Spanish twist on it, or a Mexican twist, or whatever. So that's kind of how I like to cook, making things taste good together, not necessarily this is Chinese, this is Italian, this is whatever. That's the neat thing about American food, is that there's probably maybe one true American food, and that's barbecue. Okay, but America in itself is this melting pot of different people and cultures, and that's what makes America great. But that's kind of what makes our food great too. You can go to a really great restaurant and have different styles of cuisine from all different cultures and areas that a chef has thoughtfully put together that makes sense. I've got two students actually who are opening restaurants. One student who works for Selena Tio, who's a James Beard Award winner. I've got multiple, students everywhere, and it's just cool to see that, that they're kind of carrying on that, love and passion and things like that. So. There's two pieces of advice, okay? One is, don't think that when you leave here you know everything. Keep learning, okay? I don't know everything. I've been doing this for a long time. I learn something new every day. So keep learning. Read magazines, read cookbooks, watch cooking shows. There's all sorts of new things that you can learn. The other thing would be, always keep learning and don't ever think that you're above it. I would never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. And that's how you build good people. That's how you build a good team. That's how you get people to want to work for you. I'm Chef Toby Freeland, and thank you for watching Amazing Things.